Okay, so now that we've heard the entire piece, let's take a closer look at how we can practice to increase precision throughout this piece. We're going to go measure by measure and point out problematic spots, and I'll suggest some ideas to practice and improve these spots. And hopefully it'll improve all your snare drum playing and not just this etude. So measure one, the only thing to look out for is the flam on the end of three. As percussionists, we tend to accent flams if we don't think about it. So I did two things to eliminate an accent on the end of three. First off, I did right hand lead. And so I put my right hand in all of the strong beats. This kept a more consistent sound. The second thing I did was practice just beat three. And I practice sometimes by looping a very small segment so I have a chance to listen to it and see what's actually going on. So for instance, this is beat three just looped. So I would take out a metronome, turn it on, and just loop that measure. And I was just picking a tempo. Practice this type of thing at all speeds. Fast, medium, slow, until your right hand, the main notes, are all the same volume. Okay, so looping, that's one practice technique. Measure two. Here we have two things going on, and this is a situation where we can do like a 2-for-1 situation. There's two accents, and then you have piano on beat three. So I put both those accents on my right hand. I'm right-handed, and my right hand is far superior to my left, far more consistent, especially in an audition. So in order to get my right hand on that second accent on beat two, I turned beat two into a left paradiddle. So beat two will look like this. This will be slowed down. This puts both accents on one hand. That's a good thing. Now we got to deal with this piano that starts on beat three. I would make a small exercise out of this one. And what I would do would be to play beat two, and then the downbeat of beat three, and that's it. This is what this small exercise might look like. So again, this is out of time. That was way slower than the actual tempo. But the point is to get our hands automatically moving to those different dynamic levels. And the bonus thing about the two accents on the right hand, in this situation we have one extra 16th note during beat two to get that right hand down to piano. And while a 16th note is not a lot of time, I'll take all the time I can get if I'm trying to get down to a piano dynamic level. So that's measure two. Measure three, the only thing to point out is on beat three, you have to play on the rims. It says marcato accents fortissimo. So this is just playing those rims as loud as humanly possible. I tried out a few different things before I settled just on alternating. You could do this one-handed. You could do this one-handed and have the rim hit closer to the middle of the stick. You could have both hands middle of the stick. I'll play a couple options for you right now, but the main point is just to experiment, find the loudest, most marcato sound you can, and do that one. So here's a couple options. So find one which works and stick with it. As long as it's loud and real short, that will work. Now measure four, we have an option here. This is just straight rhythm. So if I was an adjudicator, I would only be listening to see if you could play this rhythm with perfect accuracy. The way I would practice this is with a variety of stickings. If I alternated, it might just sound like this. That's alternating. If I did right hand lead, it might sound like this. But in audition, sometimes my hands get shaky. If you get a little bit of nerves, you get butterflies, your hands might start to shake and it might be inconsistent, either rhythmically or in volume. So what I will do, and it'll be like a slam dunk every time, is if I use only my right hand for measure four, it would sound like this. I can power that one out every single time. Now to check your rhythm and your time, turn this into like a drum set practice etude. What I mean is take one hand and play eighth notes on the rim, and have your other hand, which is playing the snare drum, just play the rhythm. So it might look like this. And you can switch hands. You could do quarter notes instead of eighth notes. That'd be fine. Do all this with the metronome. Always, all snare drum playing like this, where we're talking about time and rhythm, has to be with a metronome. So that's how I would practice measure 4, kind of make it into this little drum set groove. So those are some ideas for measures 1 through 4.